In what should have been a proud moment for me after I've put so much work into my van, I realized there are several things that weren't working that absolutely positively should be. I went through the time, effort, and expense of installing those LED stop and brake tail lights and the reverse lights, and the brake and tail light on the passenger side is not working, and the reverse light on the driver's side is not working. When I got the van home, I found the problem. Let me show you what the problem was and how I fixed it.
Living in a van down by the river, singing loud. No times, no change, just the rolling clouds. Freedom tastes real sweet when you're nothing to give. Living in a van down by the river's where I live, where I live.
Okay, we're back to address the reverse light issue. We've got the socket. We've got new bulbs. We have our magnetic parts tray. We'll take out screws there, 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 and there. And they're kind of at a 45-degree angle. Phillips head set to reverse. It's one. I'm going to take these off diagonally so as to try to at least somewhat evenly relieve the pressure. Okay, let's just take out the old socket. This bulb is gummed up, but I do have a good amount of dielectric grease on it. So we're going to take the new bulb, and I'm simply going to swipe this dielectric grease and wipe it on the terminals. Doesn't need to be a lot, just enough to keep corrosion at bay. We've got the standard motor parts socket. Looks like it's the same pins, so let's insert the bulb. Put it in the right direction. Now let's go test. Can you see that with the camera? Yeah, we can. Alright, we saw that it worked. Now it's simply a matter of reassembly. So they all point inwards. Make sure the seal is not rolled inside. And assembly is simply the reverse of disassembly. We're going to set the clutch back so we don't blow the plastics. It's not a huge mechanical component, so it doesn't need to be gorilla tight. We just want to keep it from falling off going down the road. right, there we go. Socket's done. Now the question is, do I do the other side right now because I have the parts, or do I wait? The other side's still working. It cleaned up very well after the last time. I'm going to keep the parts. Something I wanted to tell you about. Be extra careful when you're using dielectric grease. I ran into a problem. You see, dielectric grease is supposed to allow continuity, some conductivity through it. I found out if you use too much, it won't do it. So, on the passenger side brake light, taillight bulb assembly, I wasn't able to get in on those pins, so I just kind of globbed it in, thinking, yeah, that'll work. No, it didn't. So I disassembled that, hosed it down with some contact cleaner. I took a tiny piece of paper and smeared in very carefully right on the contacts. I figured it was probably making contact across all 3 pins instead of just across the pin I wanted. So I got that fixed. My mistake, your lesson, and it's one I won't forget. If you're not familiar with them, in the cosmetics section at the drugstore, the only reason I know this is because my late wife had them, they sell these little, very fine-tipped cotton swabs. They don't have the bulb end on them. They're like a little cone end. And I think she used it for touching up eyeliner or something like that. I don't really know what exactly they're really for, but they're a very fine tip that can get into those little nooks and crannies, particularly in those sockets. In the bulb socket itself, you can get them down in and apply the grease exactly to the pin you want. So I don't have any of her cosmetic stuff left. I gifted that to a good friend of hers after she passed away. So I don't have any of that left. I'm going to have to go back over to the drugstore and get some, though. This is something I run into often enough that I can take a little scrap of paper and dab it up, but it's not quite as accurate. I really want the fine control of that little bitty tiny tip. So, okay, I made the mistake, so you don't have to. And you notice I'm adding this here. This is something you should notice in the themes, all my videos. When I mess up, I'm going to show you and I'm going to tell you, so you don't have to make the same mistakes I did. The ears on the tips that spread out on those female connectors from the wiring harness, those things break off. I've got a solid enough friction fit that it'll be okay. However, if I start taking this thing off-road heavily, it could possibly vibrate off. At some point, I'm going to have to replace those pigtails. They're available. I just didn't get any yet. I'll do that in the future. So keep your eyes open for that. In previous videos, I've shown you my Ozark Trail smokeless fire pit. It's a great fire pit for going to places where there's just no fire pit available. Ground fires really aren't advisable. But I got something else. It's a little different. It's not smokeless, but it's a lot more compact. Let me show you. The UCO, or UCO, I think is how it's pronounced, flat pack. This is the large size. The large size UCO flat pack. It comes in a bag. It's very thin and can pretty much tuck into your kindling box. If you don't have a kindling box, stuff it behind a seat. Of course, my neighbor's going to start mowing. So, There's grates. That's the base grate. Go back a little bit to the main unit. Okay. So the legs, just simply let it fold down and open up. The base grate locks into those tabs here. I've got to do that on the ground, so you're just gonna have to bear with me. Sorry I can't show you this while I'm doing it, but has a little hanger thing for the grates. Okay, you can see the tabs go right into those slots. There it is set up. I put it on concrete, but you can see the distance from the ground to the base of it. There's plenty of room. You got no issues with potential for cinders dropping through and burning what's under it. It's not too close where the radiant heat's going to burn the ground under it. You're safe there. Just make sure you take any pine fluff or anything like that out from under it. I'm going to go ahead and get this fire started. I'm showing off my less than perfectly expert fire making skills. Okay. So now the kindling's going. We'll just let that burn down a little bit, get the paper gone, and we'll start putting some bigger pieces on. Now the cooking grate has two pieces, and I know this is the hook that you put it on with. You see these slots here? They go over the tabs on the sides, like that. I'm not going to use this for this demo, but that's how they go on. Okay, so you can see the grate runs lengthwise. Smaller pieces can fall through there pretty quickly. So yeah, get your kindling going. Doing a traditional log cabin style fire is not going to work very well in here. There is an odor. I'm assuming it is the manufacturing oils being burned off. This is actually the first burn I've ever done in this, so, and I can smell the manufacturing oils cooking off of it right now. The wood is actually catching, so I think we've got a successful fire in a fire pit. It does produce considerably more smoke than the Ozark Trail smokeless fire pit, so it's a trade-off. This also seems to be more susceptible to wind. You can see the ash being blown around pretty badly and the flames being blown around quite a bit. So there's pluses and minuses here. The plus is the absolute minimum of space required to bring this, for carrying this to camp. The minuses are it's not particularly well wind protected, and Well, and even that Ozark Trail fire pit is kind of hard to do a log cabin style, although a teepee fire works well in it. This is more of a collapsed teepee or just a pile of wood that's burning. So, you know, as they say, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, right? Do I regret buying this? Absolutely not. Is it going to replace the Ozark Trail smokeless fire pit in the long run? I don't know. I don't think so, but it might. Being as I'm in a standard length van, storage is absolutely critical, particularly if I want to add a second person. So this may end up having to be my solution here. I'm also rethinking my bathing setup, and we'll go into that, well, after delivery. I've been inspired by a dear friend from the other side of the globe to try something that's not something most Americans or North Americans, period, would have been exposed to. You'll hear about that in the next coming days. I would definitely recommend that if you set this up in camp, that you somehow wind protect it. I've seen other YouTubers out there, and I'm thinking, I don't remember who I saw using one of these before. It might have been Chad with Living the Van Life. It might have been someone else. I really don't remember. So honestly, I'd like to give him credit if I knew who to give the credit to. This isn't me trying to, hog someone else's idea here. I just honestly don't remember who I saw first using one of these that gave me the idea. Several years ago, when I first started this channel, I got my hands on some Lixada twig burner camp stoves, smokeless wood gasifier camp stoves. They work great, but I'd always thought, gee, I could really like to use something bigger. And I saw the big solo stoves, but the price tags on those pretty much made me gag. So when I came across the Ozark Trail, that's when I came across that. I don't know of any other YouTubers using the Ozark Trail. Some of that may be because they want to be able to use something they can have affiliate revenue on. I don't blame them, okay? But I'm not going to recommend something that is overpriced just so I can get affiliate revenue. So I'll give you the link for the Ozark Trail. Actually, I'll do it here in this video, down in the description. I'll give you the link for the Ozark Trail. That's not an affiliate link. I don't have an affiliate program with Walmart. Or you can just go into your Walmart store and buy it. Or I'll give you the link to this UCO flat pack. I really enjoy the compact carrying, pack-in space. That's definitely well worth the money. It was really super easy to set up. The bag is pretty nice. I don't know how this thing's going to hold up durability wise. The build quality seems to be about the same as my Coleman camp stove oven, so it's not terrible, it's not fantastic. It's just stamped metal with some hinges. Durability wise, I expect that Ozark Trail smokeless fire pit to last a lot longer. All right. Well, I think that's all I'm going to burn in this one today. I'm just going to let this thing do its number, and then I'll let it cool off and pack it back up. There it is. That's my quick run through and first burn on the UCO flat pack fire pit. I'm going to close this video out. Thank you for watching my videos. If you like what you're seeing, please click on the like for this video, share it with your friends. If you haven't already, subscribe to my videos. If you'd like to support our work, please check out our website at wildersportoutdoors.com. We've got some items there, some swag that you can help support us with. Tumblers, ball caps, t-shirts, stickers. And we're constantly developing new items. Like I always tell you, get out there. Be busy, be productive, be safe, but most of all, be blessed. I'll talk to you later.
But here by the river